Hello students, good afternoon. My name is Gerardo Antonio Rodriguez Guerrero and I am going to be your English teacher this lesson. Today we're going to learn about the verb to be. The verb to be is one of the most used verbs in English, so it's going to be very important for us to learn how to use it correctly. The first thing we have to keep in mind is that verb to be has two different meanings in Spanish. For us, it's going to be something like ser or estar. And the meaning is going to depend on about the context we're trying to say. Okay? Now let's go with the conjugation of the verb to be. So we can conjugate the verb to be. The first thing we need is a subject or a personal pronoun. The personal pronoun is very important in our sentence because it's the person who is doing the action. Our personal pronouns are I, you, he, she, it, we, you, and they. The personal pronouns are going to divide as well into groups, singular and plural. So we have I is the first person of the singular, you is the second person of the singular, and very important, he, she, it is the third person of the singular. We will be the first person, now the plural. You, second person, the plural, and they is the third person of the plural. Okay? Now we have the subject and the noun. Now we can start conjugating the verb to be. Okay? Once we have a subject, now we can start to conjugate the verb to be. So, the affirmative way of the verb to be is I am, you are, he is, she is, it is, we are, you are, they are. Very important to remember that the verb to be has two different meanings in Spanish. So, for me, I am will be something like yo soy o yo estoy. You are, tú eres o tú estás. He is, él es o él está. She is, ella es o ella está. It is, eso es o eso está.
But what happened with the personal pronoun it? Let's remember it is going to be used when we speak of an animal, a place, or object. But my general rule, it has to be only one. Because if I speak in more than one animal, a place, or object, I'm going to use the personal pronoun they because I'm speaking about a plural. Okay? So it is going to be eso es o eso está. We are, nosotros somos o nosotros estamos. You are, ustedes son y ustedes están. And they are, ellos son y ellos están. So let's move on now with the negative form. The negative form is going to be completed adding the suffix na to deny something, okay? So my negative form for I is going to be I am not. I am not. Yo no soy o yo no estoy. With the contraction I'm not. I'm not and I am not equals the same, okay? You are not. Tú no eres o tú no estás. The contraction for that would be you aren't. You aren't. Tú no eres o tú no estás. He is not. She is not. It is not. The contraction for those would be isn't. He isn't. Él no está o él no es. She isn't. Ella no es o ella no está. It isn't. Eso no es o eso no está. Let's go with the plurals. We are not, nosotros no somos o nosotros no estamos. You are not, tú no eres o tú no estás. They are not, ellos no son y ellos no están. If you can notice on this part, the plurals become so much easy for us because all are being completed with the contraction aren't. Okay? And finally, let's go with the interrogative form. In the interrogative form, the only thing we have to do is mix up the order. For example, if in the affirmative way we have I am, now to make an interrogative form will be am I. Am I? You are you? He, she, it, is he, is she, is it, él es, él está, eso es, ella está, eso es, eso está. We are, are we. You are, now is are you. And finally, so in the affirmative way, the only thing we have to do is exchange the order of the affirmative way. For example, if I have I am, to make it interrogative form, it would be am I. Yo estoy o yo soy. You are changes to are you. ¿Eres tú o tú estás? He is he. She is she. It is it. We are changed to are we. Nosotros somos o nosotros estamos. You are changed to are you. Tú, ustedes son o ustedes están. And finally, they are changed to are they. Ellos son o ellos están. Okay? And that will be all with the grammar. Now let's do some exercises. So now we're going to write isn't. Maria isn't at school. So we're using the construction for is not, isn't. And finally the question. Let's write is Maria at school? Okay? Yes, Maria is at school. Or no, Maria isn't at school. Exercise number 5. We. I'm speaking about a lot of persons, or maybe two, but I'm included. We. Okay? So the conjugation for a plural has to be are. We are Mexicans. Nosotros somos mexicanos. Okay? Now we have to deny it. We are not Mexicans. And finally the question, we have to mix it up the order. So are we changes to are we Mexicans? An obvious answer, okay? Yes, we are Mexicans, obviously. And finally, my kid, very quiet. In this part is very interesting because my kid, I'm not specifying if I'm speaking about a woman or a man, but we know it has to be one of those examples. So my kid, substitute maybe he or she. Maybe I have a boy or maybe I have a girl, okay? But it's the person of the singular. The conjugation for those would be is, my kid is very quiet. Mi niño es muy tranquilo. No, it's the opposite of that. My kid isn't very quiet. And finally, I want to make you a question. Hey, do you think my kid is quiet for you? Is my kid quiet? Do you think so? Okay? So, we finished with those examples. Okay? Let's move on. Okay, welcome back. For the next part of the class, we are going to answer some exercises to make the topic a little bit more understandable. Okay? So, we're going to answer them in affirmative, negative, and questions. The same sentence. When we try to answer this kind of sentences, the first thing we have to do is asking yourself, A, who am I speaking about? Who is doing the action? Let's find our personal pronoun. For example, I, a teacher. I, a teacher. Who is my personal pronoun in this short sentence? The personal pronoun is I. So I am doing the action. Okay? Now, the sentence tells me it's affirmative. So the only conjugation possible for I is am. I am a teacher. Let's remember the verb to be has two different senses, ser and estar. So if you want to translate this in Spanish, I am a teacher, it will be something like yo soy un maestro. An easy example. Now we want to try to make the negative form. The negative form, as we know, the only thing we have to add is the suffix am, not. I am not a teacher. Now we're denying the first sentence. I am a teacher. No, I am not a teacher. Okay? And finally, let's answer the interrogative form. So I am is going to exchange to am I. Am I. And finally, we have to write the complement. The complement is the rest of the sentence we will try to explain something. Okay? So am I a teacher? Yo soy un maestro? Yes, I am a teacher, or no, I am not a teacher. Okay? Second example. In the second example, as you can see, now we don't have the affirmative way, but we have a negative form. So we want to follow the same formula. We know. For example, you very smart, and we know it's a negative form. Okay? The conjugation for you will be are, but we have to add the not to make it a negative form. So you are not very smart, I think. Tú no eres muy inteligente, creo. Okay? We have the negative form. Let's do the affirmative. Okay? The only thing we have to do here is eliminate the not. So you are not, change to you are very smart. Now we have a positive sentence. And finally, we want to do the same as the first example. We have to exchange the order or the affirmative way. You are, change to are you very smart? You think so? Yes, you are very smart. Or no, you are not, but you aren't very smart. Okay? And we complete them. Third example. Now it becomes a little bit more difficult. Now we have Pedro, your brother, is a question. Okay, same order. We have to ask, who is Pedro? I have my personal pronouns, I, you, he, she, it, we, you, and they. But how do I know what personal pronouns become Pedro? Okay, or belong to Pedro? For example, is Pedro I? No. Is Pedro you? No. Is she una mujer? No. Pedro substitutes the personal pronoun he, because I'm speaking about he. Hablo de él, de una persona del género masculino. So the only conjugation possible for he would be is. My interrogative sentence will be, is Pedro your brother? ¿Es Pedro tu hermano? Yes, or Pedro is your brother. In the negative form, Pedro is not your brother. Easy as that, okay? Let's move on to the 4th, 5th, and 6th exercise. Maria at school, okay? Same question from the exercise 3. Who is Maria? Maria substitutes the personal pronoun she, because I'm speaking about a woman, okay? So she is at school. Maria is at school. Le estamos dando un sentido de ahora de lugar. María está en la escuela. The negative form for is, once again, would be is not. But now we're going to write isn't. And finally, let's answer this higher level sentence, in which we have to pay attention because the personal pronoun is not only one person. It could be two or more. For example, my mom and I, very close. The personal pronoun here is my mom, who substitutes the personal pronoun she. But I'm not speaking only about her. I'm speaking about myself too. We're together in this sentence. My mom and I is not only she. I'm included. So my mom and I, nosotros. Nosotros would be my personal pronoun in this sentence. So the conjugation will be we are very close. My mom and I are very close. Mi mamá y yo somos muy unidos. Negative form. My mom and I aren't or are not very close. no somos unidos. And finally, I have to exchange the are to the beginning of the sentence to make are my mom and I very close. And that would be my question. Are my mom and I very close? My mom and I is my personal pronoun. Okay? And we finish with this example. I hope you like it. See you next time. Thank you and very much. Bye.